Hey, what's up? This is just me going over some live tape recording of Friday sell-off at the highs. Just getting an idea of what to look for and how to play these scenarios heading onto the future. So I'm gonna begin at 1243, which is roughly around this range right here. So roughly around the highs. And this is, I believe, okay. So we just made a push up into the highs, okay, and I believe this is the end of this candle right here. So 1240 closing to 1245, and then right off the bat you can kind of see the main level that which obviously in hindsight ended up being the high of the day, was 4561 level right here. As you can see how we had a strong push up, but then instantly met with 400 lots at 4561, and we had a pretty strong reject, as you can see. And then right away you can kind of tell like we're having some difficulty breaking this level. We also have more liquidity going in and out around these levels. So right now if I'm in a long position, like I would just be cautious of this level, because obviously we just broke out. It can still head higher, but obviously you want to see this level get taken out sooner or later, because if it's causing such a big reaction over here, especially since how we had such a nice uptrend previously. So let me just keep playing this. As you can see, we're having like really difficulty. I mean, a lot of difficulty trying to break above. You can see there's a lot of limit orders being placed over here, waiting to get filled for the downside. And as you can see, surely like they do end up getting filled, but in this case it ended up working out for the bears case, because all these buyers just ended up buying at the highs and getting trapped at the highs, because this is probably just a lot of people probably like buying at the highs and anticipating a breakout. But as you can see, this 4561 level still needs to get taken out. And honestly speaking, like 9 times out of 10, especially with this like momentum and volatility, like if this level was like not like was not as strong, it should have been broke by now. But obviously it's having a lot of trouble here. you know and you can see even above 4561, at 4565, there's a lot of liquidity above. So I'm assuming heading to the future that this whole range right here is probably going to be a pretty strong supply that we got to break if bulls want to continue to move higher. Let me just speed this up a bit, because at this point like if I'm in this trade or thinking about this trade, the main level to watch and play off of is of course 4561, 4562, because as you can see it's been about roughly 15 minutes and it's having difficulties breaking the high. But as you can see, eventually we're going to start seeing a massive dump, because eventually all of these buyers at the highs, they're probably gonna be forced to tap out soon. And you can see slowly we're just gonna move lower and lower, and you can see more liquidity is building below it. You can see 1, 2, 3. So at this point it's nothing but just selling pressure under another big drop below. You can see more liquidity is being filled over here. Heading down lower. See more liquidity over here is being added. Speed this up a bit. You can see we're not getting above this range right here. More liquidity over here. Move down lower. And boom, just like that, another big drop. And let me just slow this down just a bit and look at the timestamp over here. So this is 1325, and that's roughly right over here. So that's not even the big drop yet. So 1325. So honestly speaking, at this point, like, you don't even have to, like, you know, you don't even have to enter long yet. You could have just, you know, just waited for an opportunity. But me, honestly, how I would have played it, I would have honestly waited for something like this, because, you know, you never just want to enter off a straight downside move. Honestly, I don't know. Again, everything's in hindsight, so I'm not really sure how I would have played this, you know. But yeah, let me just go back to watching the tape recording, and you can just kind of tell, like, at this point, everything is just, you know, simple levels. Like, you know, we did pull back a bit over here, but again, there's nothing really to be scared of over here, because at this point, after this big drop here, as long as we stay below this level here, 45, you know, 51 levels, we should be good. As you can see, we came close to it, tested it, but, you know, couldn't break above it. So at this point, as long as you're, you know, adjusting your risk, moving down your stop loss, you should be fine. And now you just gotta let, you know, the market do its work. Eventually we do get another big drop, like right around here. I'm playing the tapes at 16 speed, but, you know, you can just kind of tell, like, how these levels react. Like, you see how, like, just right now there was a lot of, you know, buyers stepping up, liquidity at the bottom. But at the end of the day, liquidity is just liquidity. It's, you know, the reaction that matters the most. See how, like, we kind of had a strong bounce over here, but it instantly got shut down. This big drop over here, we're gonna try and reclaim above again, but as you can see, we're gonna break up over here. But still remember the level from before, 45.51. So there's no reason to be scared out of this trade yet. And as you can see, that ended up being the, you know, the highs before the big drop that happened. That's crazy to think about too, because a lot of people probably would have, you know, FOMO'd or stopped out over here, and then they would have just missed this big drop over here. I believe it happened like right here. Yeah. See how there's liquidity below here, but it's like, it's not even doing shit. You're just like breaking below it. I mean, this is kind of holding up a bit, but, oh, just like that, we broke below it. It's like how fast we break below it. Like, you see how, like, previously below, like, we had strong my fault, I'm kind of tired right now. We had strong ass at the highs over here, and it took us like a long ass time to try and break above it. You know, we didn't. Versus like how liquidity over here is, like, we just break right through it like it's nothing. Like 30 seconds. How there's like no buyers in between, just straight sellers. So that's kind of like the momentum that you're looking for, you know, in sell-off days like these. Because that's the thing, like, sell-off days like these, like, you know, it could be tricky, because since it's super volatile, like, you know, if you mistime your shit, you could get like a shitty entry. It could screw your risk to reward. But yeah, overall, you know, this would have been a fire ass day too. bank on, honestly speaking. But it is what it is. But yeah, but honestly speaking, the main takeaway was just the how price reacted at the highs over here. We had a really tough time trying to break this 45.61, so I'm gonna have to adjust my chart. This 45.61 double is probably gonna be super key moving forward. But yeah, that's just like my little tape review session. You know, nothing too crazy. Yeah, that's it for me. Peace.